Hello again, it's Chris Mackay, the camera guy, and today I'm going to talk to you about what I think is a quite remarkable camera designed in Germany by a gentleman called Heinz Kilfit, produced in Japan by the Kawa Camera Company. The camera came out in 1968. There were three models: the Kawa 6, the basic model, then the Kawa 6mm, which added mirror lockup, and the last model, the Kawa Super 66, which featured an interchangeable bag with a unique feature, which I will show you soon. Okay, Heinz Kilfit was born in 1898 and he died in 1980, so at the age of 82. He formed his own company. He made lenses. He also designed the Mechaflex camera, and he designed the robot spring-driven motor drive camera. So very meticulous gentleman. I digress a little bit. I saw recently on YouTube a video in which a gentleman by the name of Thomas Bloomfield made a video called Tracking Down and Testing the Camera from Rear Window. So Rear Window is an Alfred Hitchcock movie starring Jimmy Stewart, and it's a story about a photographer who's been injured, so he's therefore confined to his apartment, and he's playing around with his single lens reflex Exacta Varex camera with a very long telephoto. Actually, that probably is incorrect. Telephoto lens is an optical formula with a very long lens on it, a 400mm f5.6 Kilfit Fern Kilar. The point of his video was he was trying to find out, just by looking at the movie and checking around, exactly what the lens on the camera was, and that's the lens it turned out to be. So you can find that video on YouTube, and if you're interested, go ahead and watch it. So anyway, in addition to making the long lenses for the Fern Kilar lenses and the Mechaflex camera and the robot camera, he designed the Kawa 6 camera, and here it is. This is the original one, sometimes known as the poor man's Hasselblad. Very nice camera. It doesn't have interchangeable backs. 85mm f2.8 lens, very good lens. Takes 120 and 220 film, which Hasselblad's didn't. The waist level finder is interchangeable with a prism finder. If I can find it, the finder, there it is. Prism finder, and they slide on from the front. So unlike the Hasselblad, you can change without any particular problem. Alright, one disadvantage I think is that the film loads from the bottom, and so when you've got the camera on a tripod, you can't change the film without taking the camera off the tripod. That's not a unique problem. Rolleiflexes have that problem, unless you get a special Rolleiflex adapter. There's a gentleman in the States called Ross Yerkes, and I contacted him, and he made a little adapter for the Kawa. So that screws onto the bottom, and it allows you to mount the camera still on the tripod. There's a tripod socket there, and you've got enough space to open the back. So this problem solved, although that's rather clunky and heavy. Sorry, Ross, but it works. Okay, nice camera. The remarkable thing about the Kawa camera was it didn't just come out with a camera, it came out with a whole series of lenses from 500mm, 250, 150, 110 macro, 85 standard lens, 55 wide angle lens, 40mm wide angle lens, 35mm wide angle lens, and hold on to your hat, 19mm fisheye lens. Nobody else has made a fisheye lens that wide. It was very rare, it is very rare, and it was very expensive, and I've never seen one, and not very many people have, but there you go. Okay, so I think I said there were 3 different versions of the Cower 6. This is the first one. Actually, I think this is my favourite one. It's simple, straightforward, does the job, takes great pictures, and very, very bright viewfinder, brighter than the Hasselblad, and it cost a lot less than the Hasselblad. The second model, the MM with the mirror lockup, I don't have. I do have the third model, which is the Super 66, and it's missing the waist level finder because it's on the other camera. I do have another waist level finder somewhere. Now, what's remarkable about this camera is that it has interchangeable backs. And the remarkable thing about the interchangeable backs, because everybody has those, right? Bronica, Hasselblad, whatever. This is the only back that doesn't require a dark slide. So interesting. I can show you, I've got a second back here. And there it is. It's a rather unusual shape, sort of like a letter L. And there's a metal baffle here, and the film is behind that. And when you take the picture, something, I'm not sure what, allows the baffle to spring up, and then the picture can be taken. And then when you wind the film on, the baffle is pushed back down. Pretty simple so far, but what about having no dark slide? So if I take the lens off here, and if I take the back off here, there we go, there's the back, and here's the body, Cower body, and I'll try and show you this. So in the back there are just some metal pieces of sprung metal pieces, strips going across, and when you take the picture, these strips are pushed up, and so allowing the light to reach the film. Then it comes back down. But they're just sort of angled across the back, but the way they're angled just doesn't let light in, and so it works. So quite amazing. The backs are a little bit more clunky than, bigger, take up more space perhaps than a Hasselblad back or a standard Bronica back, but still, no dark slide required. Pretty amazing. And they just clip back on, and there you go. Now, Cower only produced these cameras from 1968 to 1974. And then they just stopped producing them. Cower still exists. They're into chemistry and various things. And they make spotting scopes and lenses. So they're still around, unlike Rollei. And there's a link, because why did Cower stop making the cameras? The story that I read a while ago is that they weren't making an awful lot of money out of them, I think. And then Rollei started to announce in the photographic press that they were going to come out with a fantastic camera which was going to have a motor drive, single lens 6x6, which was going to have motor drive and automatic exposure, and using the Zeiss formula lenses, the same as the Hasselblad, and it was going to cost $500 American. And this is the story I heard, that the Cower management sort of threw up their hands and said, we can't compete with that, so let's just quit. And they did. And then the Rollei didn't come out at the time it was supposed to come out. It came out 2 years later, and it cost a lot more than $500 American. So that's the story of the Cower 6. It was like a comet, a bright comet shooting across the sky and disappearing. There's still quite a lot of them around. I think not as many as Hasselblads, of course. The prices are going up on eBay as I look. You're never going to find the 19mm fisheye lens. Probably you're going to have an awful lot of trouble finding anything other than the 55, the 85 and the 150, but that should do you okay. Alright, so that's the story of the Cower 6, and thank you for visiting me again, and I'll see you again soon with another story. Okay?